Picture this. You spend 3 hours tailoring your resume for a dream role. You hit submit, you wait, and then nothing. Not even a rejection email. Here's what's really frustrating. You're actually qualified for that job. You've done the work, you have the skills, but your resume is being rejected because you're making one critical mistake that's holding your value in plain sight. I'm Mary Southern, founder of Resume Assassin. And over the last decade, I've helped over 4,000 people land jobs at Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Netflix, and so many more. And the number one thing I see killing otherwise really strong resumes, it's not what you think. Here's the contrarian truth that nobody talks about. Your resume is not a record of what you've done. It's a business case for why someone should invest $80,000, $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 in you. When a hiring manager looks at your resume, they're not just filling a seat. They're making a business decision. They need to justify spending that money on you. They're asking themselves, will this person add more value than they cost? And right now, your resume is not answering that question. Today, I'm going to show you 4 ways you're accidentally hiding your value. Mistakes that are so subtle, most resume advice completely misses them. These aren't typos or formatting issues. These are strategic gaps that make you invisible to the people who matter. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to reframe your experience so hiring managers see you as the obvious choice. Let's get into it. Okay, let me show you something. Here's a real bullet point from a resume that I reviewed last month. Launched new customer onboarding process. Now, I want you to think like a hiring manager for a second. What does that tell you? Basically nothing, right? You launched something, okay, and did it work? Did customers like it better? Did it save time? Did it reduce churn? Did it make money? This is what I call the invisible impact problem. Your accomplishment exists in a vacuum. There's no business context, no proof that it actually mattered. Here's what most people don't realize. Hiring managers aren't evaluating your resume based on whether you did impressive sounding work. They're evaluating it based on whether you understand how your work creates business value. When you leave out the impact, you're telling them one of 2 things. The work didn't actually create impact. That's a huge red flag. Or you don't know how to think of it in terms of business outcomes, which is an even bigger red flag. Either way, you're not getting the interview. Think about it from their perspective. They're hiring someone to solve business problems. If you can't articulate how your past work solved business problems, why would they trust you to solve theirs? Here's the fix. For every accomplishment on your resume, you need to connect it to one of these 4 business outcomes. 1 is revenue. Did you help the company make money? 2, cost savings. Did you help the company save money or resources? 3, customer or employee satisfaction. Did you improve the experience or retention? And 4, time efficiency. Did you help the company do things faster? Let's transform that earlier example. Before, launched new customer onboarding process. After, launched redesigned onboarding process that reduced time to first value from 14 days to 4 days, decreasing first month churn by 28% and retaining an additional $440,000 in ARR. Now we see time saved, 14 days to 4 days, churn reduced, 28%, and revenue retained, $440,000. Now that's a business case. Here's another. Before, created employee training program. After, created employee training program that reduced onboarding time from 6 weeks to 3 weeks, saving the company $50,000 annually in productivity costs and increasing new hire retention by 34%. Do you see the pattern? Every accomplishment now answers the question, why would a CEO care about this? Here's a really simple exercise for you. Read each bullet point on your resume and ask, so what? I launched a new process. So what? It reduced onboarding time. So what? It saved the company $50,000 per year. Now we're talking. Keep asking so what until you hit a business outcome. That's where your bullet point should end. Go through your resume right now. For every bullet point, ask yourself, why would the CFO care about this? If your accomplishment doesn't connect to money, time, efficiency, or satisfaction, you haven't found the impact yet. Keep digging. The impact is there. You just haven't articulated it quite yet. And if you genuinely can't find the impact, that's valuable information too. It might mean that bullet point doesn't belong on your resume at all. Okay, let's say you've started adding impact to your resume. You're showing results. That's awesome. But you're still missing something critical: context. Look at this bullet point: exceeded sales quota by 140%. Sounds impressive, right? But here's what's running through the hiring manager's mind. How hard was the quota to hit? Did everyone exceed it or just you? Was that the team average? Were you number 1 or number 47 out of 50? Without comparison, your impressive number could actually be average. Here's the truth: every other candidate is also claiming that they exceeded expectations or performed above average. It's statistically impossible for everyone to be above average. So when everyone says it, hiring managers tune it out completely. You need to show them you're not just good, you're measurably better than others in your role, your team, your company, or your industry. Let me give you a real example. I had a client who wrote, "consistently met sales targets." Okay, cool. But when I dug deeper, here's what I found. She was ranked number 3 out of 89 sales reps across the entire company. She exceeded the quota by 178%, while the team average was just 94%. She had the highest customer retention rate in her region. That's not just meeting targets, that's top-tier performance. But it was invisible on her resume because she hadn't included the comparison. You need to add competitive context to your accomplishments. Here are 4 ways to do it. 1 is rankings. Where did you place relative to others? Before, exceeded sales quota. After, ranked number 3 out of 89 sales reps nationwide, exceeding quota by 178%, while team average was just 94%. Baselines. What was the starting point? Before, improved team performance. After, improved team productivity scores from 68 out of 100 to 94 out of 100. The company average was just 71, achieving the highest improvement across all 12 departments. 3, industry benchmarks. How do you compare to industry standards? So before, achieved high customer satisfaction. After, achieved 92% CSAT rating versus industry benchmarks of 74% and company average of 81%. 4, historical comparison. How did you improve on your past performance? Before, grew email subscriber list. After, grew email subscriber list 284% year over year, 1,300 to 8,800 subscribers, 3x the growth rate of the previous 2 years combined. Okay, I worked with a project manager who had this on her resume. Delivered projects on time and under budget. Heard it millions of times before. And that's literally just the job description. After digging into her performance reviews, here's what we found. Delivered 14 of 15 projects on time and under budget. 93% success rate versus department average of 67%, with an average cost savings of 18% per project. She went from sounding adequate to sounding exceptional. Look at every accomplishment on your resume and ask, compared to what? Compared to who? How did I rank? What was the baseline or average? If you don't have this information, this is your sign to dig into old performance reviews, ask former managers, or look up industry benchmarks. Because here's the thing. If you don't provide the comparison, the hiring manager will assume you're average. Don't let them assume. Prove that you're not average. Here's a question for you. Would you rather hire someone who says, "I'm good at marketing," or someone who says, "I specialize in B2B SaaS email marketing, specifically for mid-market companies in the $10 million to $50 million revenue range, using tools like HubSpot and Marketo to drive demo bookings"? Obviously the second one, right? Because specificity equals credibility. Now look at your resume. Do you see phrases like improved efficiency, enhanced customer experience, collaborated with teams, streamlined processes? These phrases are resume fillers. They could describe literally anyone doing literally any job. When you use vague language, you force the hiring manager to guess at what you actually did. And when they have to guess, they assume the worst, that you're padding your resume because you don't have real accomplishments. Specificity doesn't just make your resume more credible, it makes you more memorable. Think about these 2 people. Person A, "I improved our processes." And person B, I automated our monthly reporting using Python and Tableau, reducing report generation from 16 hours to 45 minutes and eliminating 30 plus hours of manual data entry per month. Who are you more likely to remember? Who sounds like they actually did the work? Person B, because they're proven their expertise through specificity. They've named the tools, Python and Tableau, the exact time savings, 16 hours to 45 minutes, and the broader impact, 30 plus hours saved each month. Replace every vague word with precise details. Focus on exact numbers, specific tools and systems, concrete timeframes, and clear methodologies. So let's transform a couple of examples. Before, improved customer satisfaction. After, boosted NPS from 40 to 71 in Q3 2025 by implementing Zendesk automation and reducing average response times from 6 hours to under 2 hours. Do you see the difference? You've named the metric, the NPS, the exact numbers, 42 to 71, the time frame, the tool, the specific improvement, right? 6 hours to 2 hours. Here's another example. Before, managed large budget. After, managed $2.4 million annual marketing budget across 6 channels: paid search, social, email, content, events, partnerships, optimizing spend allocation to achieve 34% higher ROI quarter over quarter. Here's a formula that you can steal today. Action verb plus specific tool or method plus precise number plus time frame plus business impact. Here's an example. Built automated email sequences using HubSpot, increasing lead to opportunity conversion by 23% over 4 months and generating $120,000 in qualified pipeline. Every element is specific. Every claim is provable. Here's what you can do today. Do a vague word audit. Search your resume for these words and replace them. Improved. With what tool? By what percentage? Many or several? Exactly how many? Responsible for? What was the measurable result? Various. Name them specifically. Helped. What was your specific contribution? If a hiring manager can't picture exactly what you did with exact tools on exact timelines, you haven't been specific enough. Okay, here's a mistake that I see constantly, and almost nobody talks about it. Most people write their resumes in the order that they did the work. Like this: conducted stakeholder interviews to identify pain points, then designed a new workflow using agile methodology, developed training materials, and rolled out the program across 3 departments, resulting in a 40% reduction in processing time. That's a chronological story of what you did. But here's the problem. The hiring manager doesn't care about your process until they care about your result. They're skimming. They're looking for proof that you create value. And by burying your result at the end of a long sentence, you've made them work for it. Most hiring managers spend like 6 to 7 seconds on your resume. They're not reading every word. They're scanning for impact. And if your impact is hidden at the end of a 30-word bullet point, they'll never even see it. Here's why this matters. Your resume isn't a story about your journey. It's a highlight reel of your greatest hits. Think about movie trailers. They don't show you the entire plot in chronological order. They show you the explosions, the drama, the payoff, the stuff that makes you want to watch. Your resume needs to work the exact same way. Lead with the explosion. Lead with the result. Then, if they want to know how you did it, they can keep reading. When you write your resume backwards, starting with impact first, method second, you respect the hiring manager's time and you make your value immediately obvious. Here's how to do that. Reverse engineer every single bullet point. Start with the outcome, then explain how you achieved it. Here's the formula for that. Impact, accomplished by method. So here's a before example. Developed and implemented a new customer feedback system using Qualtrics, which involved training 15 team members and integrating with our CRM, resulting in a 67% increase in response rates. After, increased customer feedback response rates by 67%, accomplished by implementing Qualtrics feedback system and training 15 members on CRM integration. See how much faster you get to the value? The impact is right there in the first few words. Think of each bullet point like a news headline. The headline doesn't say, reporter investigates story, interviews sources, verifies facts, then discovers corruption. It says, Major corruption uncovered in city government. And then the article explains how. Your resume works the exact same way. The headline is the impact. The details are the how. I worked with a software engineer who had this on his resume. Participated in code reviews, refactored legacy codebase using modern JavaScript frameworks, implemented automated testing, and deployed to production, which reduced bug reports by 54%. After the revision, reduced production bug reports by 54%, accomplished by refactoring legacy codebase with modern JavaScript frameworks and implementing automated testing. Same information, half the words, twice the impact. Here's what you can do today. Go through every bullet point on your resume. If the impact is anywhere except the first 5 to 7 words, you need to restructure. Ask yourself, what's the headline here? That's what should come first. Then ask, how did I achieve it? That's what comes after the dash. Impact first, method second, always. Okay, let's bring this home. You now know the 4 critical mistakes that are hiding your value in plain sight, leaving out the business context that makes your work matter, the so what factor, not showing how you compare to others, which makes exceeding expectations meaningless. Using vague language that forces hiring managers to guess instead of giving them specifics. Writing your resume in chronological order instead of leading with impact first. Here's what I want you to understand. You've been qualified for these roles all along. You've done really impressive work. You've created real impact. The problem was never your experience. It was how you were presenting it. When you fix these 4 mistakes, something shifts. Your resume stops being a document that hiring managers just skim past. It becomes proof that you're worth the investment. It becomes impossible to ignore. Think about it this way. Every bullet point on your resume is a chance to answer that fundamental question hiring managers are asking. Will this person add more value than they cost? Right now, your resume probably isn't answering that question clearly. But after today, you know exactly how to make your case. So here's what I want you to do. Block off the next hour. Pull up your resume, go bullet point by bullet point and ask, where's the business impact? Where's the comparison that proves I'm exceptional? Where are the specific numbers, tools, and timeframes? Am I leading with the result or burying it at the end? Fix those 4 things and just watch what happens. And if you want more strategies for landing offers at top companies, everything from networking to interview prep to salary negotiation, subscribe to this channel. I share everything I've learned from helping over 4,000 people land their dream jobs. You've got this. Now go show them what you're really worth.